Testy and Sue are sitting at one of the local taverns. Kind of, it's a seedy place. There's not a lot of people there. Kind of waiting to hear from back from Marga. She was reportedly going to meet with a small kobold called Squee, kind of to discuss some things. And then Squee, I'll have you kind of enter into the tavern. Also looking for Marga because you thought she was there.
I slip in the back door and look around.
All right, so you see that Tetsi and Sue are sitting there. You see that there's a gnomish bartender that's kind of sitting behind the bar. The bar is noted to be pretty much filled with about 5 or 6 humans that are kind of sitting at the bar, sort of milking back some drinks. It looks like a place that maybe people visit very rarely. Typically, more the town drunks and things like that would come in. They don't really pay any attention to you, and obviously your disguise, your cover. So you look like a small child coming in. I know that you're. How tall are you?
2'6".
Yeah, so you'd be kind of like a runt of the family. Everybody would maybe give you a second glance to see you moving through because you're so small to check to see where your parents were. But you've gotten this disguise down pretty good where you're able to hide things and whatnot. And you see the two of them kind of sitting at the table over there.
I recognize the boots. That's how I notice everybody.
Perfect.
I'll go over and climb up into a chair.
Okay. So as you kind of climb into a chair, you see that the two are sitting there, and obviously you know what your mission was and whatnot, and they're sitting there kind of waiting to hear your results.
Where's Marga?
She went to meet you. I think. You're Squee, right?
Yeah, I'm Squee. I thought we were meeting here.
Marga never told us that. Did she, Sue?
No, last I saw Marga, she had been apprehended.
What?
Last time I had seen Marga, she had been apprehended.
I'm going to stand up in my chair, put my hands on the table, and lean forward, all like 1 foot of me over the top of the table. And I'm going to say, I heard you the first time. How did she get caught?
Well, being that Tetzalu and I did not get caught, we're not quite sure. We weren't with her at the time. She was probably burning something down, and she was apprehended by the city guard or something or other, I suppose.
Probably some field somewhere. She likes to do that.
Okay, Greg, I have a question. Where in our backstory are we time-wise at this point?
So I think that your backstory really is right now. So essentially, like for you, it would be maybe a day or so, and so you're obviously done what you've done, and people are kind of looking for you.
Okay, Marga was going to get me off of the street for a while.
Yeah, that was the plan, right? So that's why you're there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying to the two tall guys.
Perfect.
Yeah, she has a workshop here in town. I've been staying there on and off while I got set up here, and we've talked about some plans and such.
Excellent. That sounds like a good place to hide. Can we go there now? I'm furtively looking around without trying to furtively look around.
So as he kind of says that, you see that the back door sort of flies open, and as it does, you see 3 small creatures kind of scurry in the door, and they sort of slam the door shut, and they quickly look around the room. As they look around, they immediately recognize you, and they come running over to the table.
Who do they recognize?
Squee.
Okay, but Tetsu and I don't recognize them.
I believe so, yeah, unless you guys know him. I don't think you do.
Yeah, do we know him, Steve?
No.
Okay. Who are these guys? Why are they at our table?
They're my companions, my minions. They do that heavy work.
The chubby one got caught.
That's what they were just telling me.
Yeah, the dwarf.
Excellent memory, Itchy. Excellent memory. Allow me to introduce everyone. I'm assuming I do know your guys' names since I've met you through Mark.
You know what, Squeeze? We're being chased. There's somebody after us. If you want to sit here and talk about it, that's fine.
I'll cover her path.
All right.
I'm gonna cast a fog cloud in there.
You see that Oz got a chicken. I thought they're after me for this chicken.
Wait, you're casting fog cloud in the tavern?
Yep.
So you see him start to cast a spell, and immediately everything becomes foggy inside the cavern, or inside the tavern, and suddenly you hear doors open and shut, and you hear people kind of moving around and whatnot.
By the way, I don't think that should have been at disadvantage, Greg, but that's okay.
No problem. I know what your other roll was, so I'll give you the other roll. I'm not sure why it went at disadvantage.
Because I had my
We're trying to
sunlight
hide under the
sensitivity
table.
active.
All right. What was that, Harry?
I'm gonna try and hide under the table if I can
Alright.
find it.
All right, gotcha. So you guys feel something moving about your feet as you hear chairs kind of being moved.
I just moved to a different table.
All right, so you're kind of moving through the fog bank. As you guys are sitting in there, everything sounds really quiet, and then suddenly you hear on the outside, you hear, "All right, yep, that's where they're at. Okay, everybody around the doors."
I think we got away.
Now, are they after all four of us or just the three of them?
I don't know. It's hard to say, right?
It's hard to say who it is, right?
Yep.
Ah, you guys, you're causing all kinds of trouble.
So as you look around, you see that you're kind of completely sort of enveloped in this sort of fog that's there. You can see shapes and whatnot. You now see that the bar appears to be empty. The patrons that were in there are gone. You don't hear the gnome at all, so not sure where she went. Coming into the room, you recognize that there was a front door as well as sort of a back door that was there. There are windows, but they're all shuttered to kind of make it dark and sort of seedy in there, so nobody really knows what time of the day it is, and they can drink their wallows away.
Is there an upstairs?
There is not an upstairs. This is just literally like a bar. There's no inn or tavern. They don't serve food here. It's just drinks.
Is there rafters in like the ceiling that I can try and climb up and get into?
Yeah, there are rafters up there. So they're about 8 to 10 feet high. But yeah, you can, from your 2.5 feet to get up there.
Is it acrobatics or athletics to climb?
Athletics to climb.
That sucks. I don't climb anything.
I can boost you up.
So all of a sudden you see Squee kind of takes a couple chairs and stacks them up on top of the table, and he sort of climbs up this sort of tower of chairs and jumps up and grabs onto one of the rafters and climbs up and is now up in the rafters.
I'm going to try and hide up here somewhere.
All right. How about the rest of the group?
You guys need to hide somewhere.
You suddenly hear signal horns outside, and you can hear a lot of commotion of people outside the front door itself.
Let's sneak out the back.
Does it have a basement?
It does not have a basement. It's kind of like just a one-room sort of shack, essentially. It's not a very nice place.
Or he doesn't have any, like, storage? Does he have a crawl space?
He does not have a crawl space. He has storage, but it's all behind the bar. So pretty much everything that this gnome had was right there. I mean, there's cupboards and things. You could empty out the cupboards and try to hide in the cupboards, or up in the rafters, but that's about it.
You guys need to hide, quick.
What?
You suddenly hear boots kind of walking on the planks of the wood outside. You're and you hear somebody right at the door said, "All right, come on out. I know you're in there."
Nobody's in here.
Like, come on, open up. Finally, you hear somebody say, "Sir, I don't think they're coming out." Like, all right, well, we'll have to flush them out. You got the torches? Like, yes, sir. 1 minute. He kind of yells in, says, "Come on out, or else we're going to burn you out. Let's go."
What's the bartender have to say about this?
So as you look around, you see the bartender is nowhere to be found. Matter of fact, everybody has left the bar. Like, I've been hunting you guys for a while now. Come on, let's go.
Mage armor up.
Don't worry, Marga didn't tell us anything, alright? We found this all on our own. You don't have to be mad at her. Let's go. Come on. You hear the door cracks open just a little bit. You see kind of the torches. You can see the light of torches kind of coming through and kind of dancing around. And you see there's a what looks like an armed city guard. He's wearing gray with a blue tunic. He has what looks like a halberd in his hand, and he kind of is peeking around the corner with the halberd at the opening of the door, trying to peek in. He sees that it's all foggy and everything, and he kind of turns back and he says, "Sir Balin, it appears that there's smoke inside or something." Your Balin just kind of ticks between his lips. Says, "Okay, I guess we'll have to do it." Suddenly you hear the sounds of what sounds like arcanic spell casting being performed. Why don't we go ahead and roll for initiative? So I know Squee is hiding up in the on the rafters. I saw Balls. You did a stealth check for something, I think.
Yeah, I was trying to hide up under the table. I'll let the chicken go.
Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha. The chicken kind of squawks across the room. How about the rest of you? Icky?
Itchy?
Itchy, sorry.
Oh, come on now. We got the easiest names. We are, you know what?
I know.
The goblins should have inspiration for having easy names for you to pronounce.
I'll give you guys disadvantage for easy names. So, Itchy, where would you be at, Itchy, or what are you doing?
Well, in front of the table where Balls and Harry are trying to hide.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Besties?
I'm moving behind the bar.
All right, gotcha. So Testy kind of moves back behind the bar. As you look around, you see there are obviously glasses and bottles. You do see there's alcohol there as well as a large tankard full of what probably was mead of some sort. And I think Sue is probably working on something else at this point.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay. Take your time. No
roll
biggie.
initiative here.
No worries, man. So, so as you guys kind of see, you can hear now that there are guards that are behind the in the back of the tavern as well. You can hear them on the outside of the door. You kind of hear kind of thudding and whatnot that's going on, and then there's one guy at the back of the door, and you kind of hear him yell out, and he says, "I'm at the back of the door." Sir Balin yells, "Okay, Mudgraw, thank you. I appreciate that." He's like, "It doesn't look like they're going to come out, so we're probably going to have to get them out."
Do the names we've heard mean anything to any of us?
That's a great question. So, why don't you give me a history check, if you're interested. Okay. So the name Sir Balin does sound familiar to you, Squee, and he's kind of sort of renowned throughout the land, especially for you knowing kind of how things go, as you've been dealing with the nobles and whatnot.
Crap. That's Balin out there. He's a witch hunter.
Well, it's a good thing we're not witches.
No witches here.
Excellent.
You could go away. There's no witches in here.
You hear him kind of smirk out there, and he says, no. I never leave a charge. It's okay. We'll be done here in just a minute. Don't worry.
I'm going to open the back door.
Okay. So as you open up the back door, you see a gentleman there who's standing there, and he's interesting. I'm not sure would have seen him very much, but he's stands about 4 feet tall. He has a large shell and has sort of an amphibious appearance, and he's a turtle. As you're looking at him, you see that he is surrounded by 6 guards that are also standing by him, who also have torches and as well as swords and whatnot that are out. And he looks at you and he says, you're going to surrender, huh? Good.
No, I'm not with these guys. I just didn't run out in the fog. I got confused.
Oh, really? Why don't you go ahead and make a deception check? Alrighty. So he looks at you, and you see he kind of squints and whatnot, and says, "Well, by all means, then I guess you should go ahead and go."
I leave.
Alrighty. So you kind of walk out the door, and as you start to kind of walk, he turns around and says, "Oh, I was wrong, guards." And you see them all kind of come towards you to kind of grab onto you.
I bet he went for help.
Like, are all 7 of them within...
Yeah, they were like all around Mudguard.
within 10 feet of me?
Yep.
I'm going to cast Arms of Hadar.
Alrighty, sounds good. So go ahead and cast that. I can keep them all straight. The rest of you are inside still then?
Yep, I'm still in there. I'm hiding.
Yeah, I'm under the table too.
Hey, there's only 5 of them there.
Yeah, I'm grabbing one more. Hang on.
Oh,
Are we on a map?
No, I don't have a map.
Okay, good to go.
Yep. I'm glad you asked.
Just making sure.
guard. Which other guard didn't I get there?
B3 and Mudgraw, if you were hitting Mudgraw.
I'm going to roll the damage for the first bunch.
Yep, sounds good.
And only one of them can take a reaction on this turn after I cast this.
Okay.
Nice damage.
Then I'll cast it on the other 2.
Alrighty.
Hold on. I did that to the wrong 2 guys. Crap.
That's alright, no problem. I'll fix it.
That should have been half to guard 1 and full to the rest.
Alrighty.
Or B21, B guard 1, yeah.
So guard 1 got half and the rest were
Full.
All right, gotcha.
Or no, looks like B guard 10 save too. Sorry.
Okay.
So that's the other two guys. So only the two guys can take whatever you call it,
Reaction?
reaction. So I'm just going to run away and let them try.
Okay, sounds good. So, as you kind of hit them, and all the guards kind of collapse from the arms of Hadar, and the other ones are sort of affected, you start to take a run. So you would go another 30 feet, I think. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right, gotcha. So as you take off, as he does that, you do hear that Sir Balin did have that sound of casting a spell. So all 5 of you, unless all of your hit points are greater than 76, you fall asleep.
I have
I'll lay down
77.
right here.
You have 77. All right. So you all are now under the sleep spell.
Holy crap, that's a lot of dice for a sleep spell.
He upcasted it.
Yeah, he upcasted it. Greg had this already planned. There was no way we were getting around.
You're right.
I want to point out that I was 35 feet away from anyone else.
It was a 1-table room. So, and then...
So he's up in the ceiling. So
Yeah.
did he fall asleep and
Oh, yeah,
I
of course.
I was crammed in a corner,
Roll a
up in the
1d6.
rafters.
Let's see how you do, actually.
Falls on a pool cue and dead.
Did you ask for some kind of roll,
No,
Greg?
I didn't. I'm just teasing. So, and then Testy, so as you run away, Mudgraw looks at you, and he also starts to cast a spell. I need a wisdom saving throw from you. Yeah.
Strong work.
Yeah, so as you start to run, all of a sudden in mid-stride, you stop and you're just standing there. You feel like every muscle is sort of paralyzed, and that was a hold person spell that he cast on you. And then you see him start to walk over, and he yells, "Guards, there's one in the back!" And they start to come back around. I need another wisdom saving throw from you. Yep. So by the time you start to do that, you see that the guards have now come around you, and they've started to sort of manacle your arms and whatnot. Yeah. And so the rest of you, when you wake up, you do find that you all are now sort of trapped in sort of a locked wagon that has very thick bars on it. Your legs are manacled. Your hands are manacled. You do have... manacles that wrap around all the fingers of your hands except for Itchy, it's going to be hard for me. Itchy and Squee. So you guys have wrist manacles, the rest of them have finger manacles. And everybody is gagged except for Squee and Itchy.
that's because we're the most important and we can still talk.
Exactly.
Leadership. That's what it's all about.
You also have some things that kind of go over your eyes to try to hold it. There's some cloth that's there. As the cart continues to move through, and you guys have woken up, you do hear the sounds of what sounds like the town is sort of disappearing off into the distance. You also have the sounds of what you hear is sounds like crossing the hills and whatnot. This travel continues for about a day and a half that you travel. They don't feed you at all, so there's no feeding and there's no drinking of any liquids. So you've gone a day and a half of fasting.
Is there any possibility of getting out of the wrist cuffs?
Sure, absolutely.
Can I don't worry. I will count the number of bumps so that we can figure out how far away they're taking us. now proceed to count to 11 over and over and over again.
All right.
I'm gonna like nudge Itchy every once in a while like it's a bump.
I look at Sue and say, how the heck did we get messed up with these guys? I'm rolling my eyes.
They have their uses. Wait a minute. Everybody's gagged but Itchy and myself, right?
That's right.
Right, I
Yep.
didn't say that. I just rolled my eyes.
Was I able to get my hands free, Greg?
So you weren't, because you don't have thieves' tools with you. You guys have nothing.
Oh.
So yeah, matter of fact, I already have all your inventories saved. So if everybody can delete everything out of their inventory, that would be great.
Oh man, not my Sleeping Beauty book.
Everything. Yep.
You're paying. I hope
had
I
the-
don't lose everything here.
I had that stored in a special place.
Don't worry, I have parcel sheets for all of your inventories. So
Delete everything out of inventory.
yep, take everything out of your inventory.
Damn, this sounds like Out of the Abyss. All
I know, doesn't it? I was gonna do something at the.
What
You would have
about my
guessed.
gold?
Your gold too. Yep. Lose your gold.
Not the gold I have in my special pocket.
Prison pouch.
It's a prison wallet.
Uh,
I
Alright.
keep me in Balls' prison wallet.
So, I need everyone to make a perception roll at disadvantage.
Well, that should improve my chances of doing it.
You can roll in the open, that's fine.
Nope, you got me in the habit of doing skill rolls in the tower.
I understand. Squeeze balls. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, you rolled a natural 20, but unfortunately you don't.
I was hoping you'd tell me I rolled that natural 20 on my perception.
I know, right? Alright. So, as you guys continue to move through, you do hear the guards talking about who are kind of driving the prison wagon itself. You hear them kind of just generally discussing things, and you hear one of them say, it's about maybe another half day or so, we should be to Brandon Scar prison. Like, these are the worst of the worst from what I hear. And you hear him kind of talking back and forth. He's like, yeah, I thought Balin did a good job in there. He says, too bad about Marga. I heard that big lady got killed or something. And the other guy's like, no, she escaped. We thought we had her, but we lost her. But we tracked that little rugrat, that little kobold back there, back to the rest of them. So it's all good.
That's a lie. He never tracked me at all.
I'm rolling my eyes.
So you kind of continue to kind of bounce around in the back there while this is continuing here. You do hear them stop, and they'll occasionally eat and things like that.
Hey, you gonna feed us?
And you hear one of them says, shut up, little one.
Yeah, big man. Outside the cage. Not shackled.
Yeah, and he's like, uh-huh. So as you kind of continue to move through, it's now sort of a dark. The sky is full of stars. The moon is full, so you're able to kind of see shadows underneath the bottom of your blindfolds that are there. And then Testy, you have sort of moved and wiggled a little bit, so your blindfold is kind of moved a bit, so you're able to see a little bit. And you see that you're following this road, and you all can kind of hear the sound of seagulls and what sounds like the sea. So you know that you've definitely moved towards kind of the southeastern corner of Talongard. And you see off in the distance is a large castle that is extending out from a rocky island that's out in the edge of the sea that's there. And you see there's a gatehouse, and there's this long bridge that goes all the way out there. And as you kind of pull up next to the gatehouse, you all can kind of hear sort of some people kind of talking and whatnot. You're unable to tell what the description is that they're talking about there. Let's see. What did we miss? So I've got squee, balls, testy, itchy. Harry, can I have a perception at disadvantage? Oh, you did. I got you. Never mind. I guess it's just Sue. Let me get Sue here. So as you guys are kind of rolling in, you each perceive something different. All right. So I'm going to send you guys each a separate message here.
So now it's Aichi. Oh, there. That's better.
Itchy. Oh, thank you. Icky or itchy? Itchy, right?
Itchy.
Itchy. I know.
I'm
Hairy,
looking
and
for
balls.
scratchy.
Yeah, you guys are good.
Just go ahead, get in your mind. Itchy, hairy balls. Itchy,
All right.
hairy balls.
Oh
Itchy, hairy
God,
balls.
Lord, help me! Gonna be terrible.
Our dad named us.
Your dad is bad. All right.
You should see what the names of their other 15 siblings are.
Only Badger. And let's see. So, Squeed, you didn't get a message yet, did you?
I have not gotten a message.
All right, gotcha. Anybody else that hasn't gotten a message yet?
I have not.
You have not either. Oh, yep. Okay. So as you kind of roll through the entrance there, there are certain details that you do remember or don't remember. Just prior to going through the gate, you see one of them kind of reaches in, and you see that the two that are awake, or you guys figure the two that have been talking, all of a sudden you hear poof, poof, and they both kind of get knocked in the head. And you hear them both kind of slumber down, and even Itchy starts snoring as they're coming in. And you hear one of the guards say, "Good, now they can stop talking for once." And then you guys continue to kind of go through. So as you kind of pass through the gates, and obviously some of you have seen others that is there. So you have entered into what is Branderskar Prison. And you all know that this has but one sentence. You all have your own sentence, but you all know it has the meaning that likely you're wicked and irredeemable. And when you arrive here, nobody ever leaves. So once they get you in there, you feel the rough hands of several guards kind of pick each one of you up and kind of walk you through. You're blindfolded, kind of scuffling. You may fall down. They bring you into a room, each of you, and as they do, with your hands manacled, you feel this burn that occurs on your left arm. Is almost as if you've been branded. It's probably about 5 or 6 inches in length. So for the goblins and the kobold, it almost covers your entire inner forearm. It hurts, it burns, and then you kind of hear them kind of, one of the guards kind of cackle. And each of you, as this occurs, they do take off your blindfold, and you're finally able to meet sort of the guard, or the master guard himself. And he kind of introduces himself to each of you as Tobias, and or Tomas, sorry, Sergeant Tomas. And as he does that, he kind of snickers at you and sort of says, "You'll love this place, I promise." As he does that, you can get this smell of almost like a sickening sweet blueberry smell on his from his mouth as he kind of talks to you, almost like he's been eating a bazillion blueberries, something of the sort. And each of you then are kind of brought in and brought into this large cell. And as you're brought into the cell, you're sort of shackled, right? And so you all know that since you've been condemned, you likely could either face the best of a life in shackles and servitude in the salt mines. Some of you may be burned at the stake, depending on your crime. Some of you will be beheaded and whatnot. And you may be spared. I mean, it seems unlikely, but it's possible. But you do know that you do face a final judgment. Tomas says to you, he says, 3 days, executioner arrives. He'll make the decision. Right. Don't worry. Either through fire or steel, your crimes will be answered.
Is he in metal armor?
Let me. Yes, he is. No, actually, let me bring up his MP. Sorry, looking at his picture. Yes. He does look to be in metal armor.
Metal boots, he's a glutton for punishment.
Uh-huh. So, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I'm memorizing his boots.
Nice. So as you're brought in, you're kind of all sort of chained together, and you're in the same large communal cell, and you're just pretty much dressed in just these kind of filthy, tattered rags. You've kind of been manhandled and mistreated, and anything that you obviously possessed has been long gone. And you see that no special treatment has been given to any prisoner, whether you're male or female, goblin, or appearing humanoid, kobold and well. Your feet are secured by iron cuffs that are tethered by one long chain. So all of your feet are kind of connected to one chain. Your arms are secured above the walls by manacles. Each of you have a separate chain with a metal that's there, and your arms are up. And you do see that there is a guard that's been posted outside the cell as he's looking to you. There's little thought to the long-term accommodations for you, as you all know, at Branderskar Prison, justice comes pretty swift.
How close together are the bars?
The bars are about 8 inches apart.
Harry, you can't do any of your magic stuff to get us out of this?
They took my Sleeping Beauty book.
They took your book?
One or two tricks, maybe. Let me take a rest. Let me sit down for a minute. I'm gonna sit
We're going to
down.
have plenty of time to rest.
Try and
Are we
take
all in the same
short
room, or are we in
rest.
different rooms?
Nope, you're all in the same room. You're all shackled against the wall. You have one chain that connects all your legs together, and then there's a separate chain for each of your arms. You're not gagged anymore, and you don't have anything cover your eyes anymore.
And are my fingers...
The fingers are
Still-
still, yep, they still are kind of spread apart in sort of mage sort of manacles.
There's one guard at the gate.
There's one guard, yep, and you kind of see him. He's sitting there in the room. I'll have a map for you. Hang on one sec. Here.
I could lube us up.
That might work.
We can slip out of the chains.
Ooh, maybe not.
You're dumb. You're dumb, Harry.
Guys, you know you leave the planning to me. You know that.
Well, you're not doing a very good job.
Does anybody have bacon?
I need time.
Bacon or butter?
Shut up,
What'd you,
Squee.
what'd you eat today, Itchy?
Nothing. This is inhumane treatment.
Did anybody eat bacon today?
Take a look, you're not human.
What did we eat
Yeah, you're
this
dumb,
morning?
Itchy.
Can I get my finger in my mouth?
No.
Can I put my finger in his mouth?
No.
What about your
Can I
toe?
put my ear in his mouth?
No. You're all 5 feet apart, except for, obviously, Squee and... They're interesting symbols. They changed the symbols. Squee and Balls are fairly close together, but with Squee being as short as he is, it's still a distance.
And we're chained to the wall.
You are, yep. Hands are above the wall. I don't think... It was a very sexist picture that they had, and I don't think I copied it. Let me just see if I have it here. Oh, and as you look down at your arms, or look at your arms, you see that you have been branded with an F on it.
Fuck.
Exactly. No, I don't have a picture of how you're bound. Sorry.
Arms above her head, apparently.
Yep, arms are above your head. There's a chain that wraps between from one manacle, goes through a half circle hook that's hooked on the wall, and then comes around to the other manacle. So you can move your hands back and forth, and the chain will slide through that. But you essentially are unable to bring your arms down by your side, and your legs are manacled by a long chain that goes around the room.
So am I hanging in the air or am I standing on the ground?
No, they gave you enough slack that you're able to barely. You're kind of on your tiptoes.
I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna tighten the chain up. see if I can make Squee dangle.
Sounds good. Well, it's the feet one, so you actually pull him down a little bit closer to the ground, and his feet are now kind of like moving to the left, and they're more closer to you than they are towards Testy. Oh my god.
I mean, like, is each leg or the legs manacled together too?
They are.
Or they say, oh man, I was gonna say, Testy, you pull your way, I'll pull
Yep.
mine.
So you see that this room is obviously the walls are all stone. There's no windows that are here. The floor is stone as well as the ceiling. You see that this is the only cell that all six of you in is the only cell that's being used, except for the one on the far left of the room. And when you look over there, you see that this one has sort of a reinforced stone cell. You see that there's large stone pillars, or large stone blocks that kind of are along the floor as well as the ceiling. And then you see the bars there are significantly thicker, and the steel looks to be, or the iron appears to be more of a steel, and they're approximately 6 inches in diameter. And inside there, you see what looks like a large sort of, well, for a better term, it's an ogre. And he seems sort of almost like drunk, kind of sitting over there, and he just kind of is playing with his fingers and just kind of looking out and whatnot. And occasionally he'll come over and he'll kind of grab onto the bars and he'll try to rattle them, but he doesn't really move them very much.
And is the guard close to our cell, or is it like back at the door? Or
Okay. Sorry.
That's all right, no problem. It's a great question. So the guard is actually sitting at the southern door. Kind of has a chair that's next to it, right there, and he's just kind of sitting there and sort of watching as things go by, watching y'all.
But the door is shut, right?
Yep, the door is shut.
Hey, buddy, you want to make some money?
The guard continues to kind of sit there, and he appears to be either whittling something with his dagger or carving into some piece of wood or doing something, and he's not really paying a whole lot of attention to you.
I've got 10,000 gold stashed from my last 2 jobs. I hate to see that go to waste with my death.
He kind of looks up at you and just goes, and then keeps whittling away.
I'd give it all to you if you let me go, buddy.
He says, 10,000 gold, you tiny little kobold.
I'm good at what I do.
Obviously, you're at Brandon Scar Prison. Don't worry. It'll come to you.
Not interested in making some money. Some easy money, huh?
Huh? Easy money, huh?
Real easy. All you gotta do is let me go.
Really?
Unhook me from the chains. I have faith in you to be able to do that, and it's well worth the money to me.
You see he kind of stands up and pushes the chair back. He puts the piece of wood down and takes the dagger and slides it into his pouch.
All you got to do is release me from these chains. Not even worried about the rest of these guys. Just me. My 10,000 gold. It's yours if you get me out of here.
He walks over and you see he looks back behind to the door to the south. He kind of looks forward and he says, "Keeping it."
I'm sorry, I missed what he said.
He says, "Where are you keeping it?"
Oh, no. I know if I tell you, I'm not getting out of here and you'll get the gold.
You see he unlocks the door and he walks in.
Now, what was the town we were captured in?
So you guys were caught in the town of just outside Alden Cross.
Look, I had enough time before I was captured to get it hidden near Alden, whatever the name of that town was, because now I can't pronounce it. So, I'll tell you that much. It's near there, but I'm not telling you where until you get me out of here.
So he's, you see him kind of look back and he says, "Listen, I'll give you something to help you out, okay? But I can't let you go on your own." He reaches into his pouch. Kind of steps over here, right next to you, and he kind of leans down just a little bit away from your, kind of from where you could bite or whatnot. It's like,
Yeah.
you see, he immediately pulls out what looks like essentially like a medieval gag ball, wraps it around your mouth, puts it in there, and then he walks away. He says, "Shut up," and he walks up to the door, and then closes the door and goes back and sits down and continues to whittle.
Wow, nice time to roll. 1.
So he continues to kind of whittle away there.
Do I see like any of our stuff wherever he's sitting?
Yeah, so you don't see anything, any objects in here at all, except for you see the prisoner. He has a chair here. You see Grumblejack, who's over on the other side, who's that ogre. And then you see each of the cells have chains that are hanging down, similar to what you guys are connected to. But you don't see any objects in there at all. There's not a... They don't have a chamber pot in here. They don't have any water in here. They literally have nothing. And then that door that you see on the far end is a large wooden door that is closed. You do recognize that for the ones that didn't awake in this chamber, that you did come from that door. That's kind of the way that they had brought you in. And you did climb up steps coming up here, so you're on a second level of some sort. So as anything else that anybody else would like to yell or do? All right. So as you can see, escape seems pretty hopeless, right? You've all been well searched. Every attempt to conceal anything on your person has failed, though they did check prison wallets.
I was just going to ask that.
And if you could, somehow kind of slip out of your bonds, I mean, there'd be like, how do you get out of this room, right? So obviously things seem now that you're just sort of awaiting your death. So I guess, who can blame, Talongard for wanting to do this after all the crimes and everything that he's done?
So, grab our other characters.
Pretty close, yeah. So,
and that was session 1.
It'll be real easy to grab them. They're in the cell beside us.
Exactly. No, there's nobody in here. So,
Just wanted a short campaign.
right, exactly. All right, well, that was fun, guys. I'm glad we had a good Evo campaign, and let's see what we'll do. So, we're going to do Curse of Strahd now. So, But yeah, so the night goes throughout the night. You do see that the guards do switch, and you see at night that isn't a guard that sits in there sometimes, and then he comes in every once in a while. He's not in there very often. Obviously, you have a pretty restless sleep, and then in the morning you see that the Sergeant Tomas kind of opens up the door, and you see him sort of walk in, and as he does, he kind of opens the door, and the other guard kind of, and sitting in the chair, kind of comes back, and he kind of walks over to you, but he doesn't walk. He looks different, like something different about him. He doesn't seem as commanding or as I don't know, as he did when you first saw him the first day. And he kind of looks over there and he says, "You there? Yeah, that's the scum right there. Get him unshackled. If any of the other ones give you any trouble, give him a thrashing." And he kind of looks and he says, "Today's your lucky day, scum. You've got a visitor. How you ever warranted such a fine lady is beyond me. I guess she wants to say goodbye. Now step lively. We wouldn't want to keep her waiting." You see the guard kind of walks in. Now you obviously don't know who he's kind of pointing to. And the guard will kind of walks in, and as the guard does, he walks over to Testy and starts to undo his arm shackles as well as his leg shackles. And he says, "Must be your lucky day."
He's undoing mine?
Yep. He says, "Follow me. Come on, prisoner." So the rest of you see that now Testy has now been unshackled, and he's being brought with the other guard. And you see Sergeant Tomas is standing there, kind of staring at you.
Me?
Yep. Yep, you. I know you're shocked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to figure it out.
So he brings you out, and as they do, they lock the cell door, and he suddenly puts manacles around your arms and puts manacles around your feet again, and he says, "Follow me." And the rest of you see that they're now escorting Testy out of the room, and you're with the sergeant.
Greg, as they're leaving the room,
Yeah.
since they unmanacled one between us, does that mean that we have free leg chain on one side of us now?
Oh, I misspoke. So the way it works is that there's one long chain, and it goes through each of the manacles, and the manacles have a ring on it. So in theory, you could all get together and be really close, and you'd have like 50 feet of chain on one side, or you could be all spread out, so you're all 5 apart. Does that make sense? So the manacles slide on that single chain that goes around.
Yeah, I understand now.
Okay, gotcha.
Same with the arm chains?
No, the arm chains, you have your own separate chain that goes from one arm to the other arm, and it's wrapped through a ring on the back of the wall above your head. So you can move your right arm all the way forward, and it would bring your left arm all the way back. But you can't affect other people's arms. Everybody has a different chain above their arms. I know that's a weird description. So as you walk out, Testy, you see that the sergeant just kind of stares straight ahead, and he continues to walk. So he takes you out and he walks you down a set of stairways, a set of stairs. And the room he walks you through is a guard room, and you see that there's another door that's there. Oh, he actually doesn't take you down the steps. Sorry, I misspoke. So he walks you on that south area of that picture. You see him go through, and there's another guard that's in there, and then he brings you into a room. You see a door off to the right here, and he brings you over, and the door opens, and the guard kind of goes back and sits, and so it's just you and the sergeant. And as the door opens, you see that it's a kind of like an interrogation room. You see that there's a wooden table, and there's 4 chairs there, and you see there's like little red marks on the table, and then there's a smell of like burning flesh that you can smell in this room. As you walk in, you see there is this tall human woman that's standing there. She's in a very elegant black dress, and she has what appears to be sort of this soft sort of silken veil that kind of covers her face. She looks almost as if she was going to a funeral, to be honest with you. And you kind of see her backs to you. She's kind of looking off into the distance a little bit. And when she hears the door open, she immediately looks over to you. And as she does, you see she has these stunning green eyes. Her hair is almost a white color, and you see her eyebrows are definitely white that are there. And she wears these very intriguing sort of jeweled necklace, these deep crimson red jewels that are in her necklace. And she goes, "Oh, dearest, I'm so glad you're alive." And then she quickly turns to Tomas and she says, "Please, sir, could you give us a moment alone? For pity's sake. He is my beloved." And Thomas kind of goes, you see his face turn sort of pan blank, and he just sort of stares off, and he goes, "Of course, my lady, for you 'tis no problem." And he's very pan-faced, and he turns around and he closes the door.
Hi.
She looks at you, and immediately you see that this smile and everything sort of drops, right? And this sort of grief and everything that's on her face. She kind of has a smirk. The corner of her mouth goes up, and she says, "Have you forgotten me, dearest?"
Not at all.
Of course not. We've never met. Call me Teodora.
How could I possibly forget you?
Right. She goes, "Call me Teodora. We, let's say, possess a mutual friend who'd like to meet you and your fellow cellmates. Word has gotten out about you guys."
All right.
Unfortunately, our friend is unwilling to visit you in your present rather shabby accommodations.
Confining.
Yes, confining. That's a great term. I like that. So, I guess you are going to need to escape.
Yeah, that would be great. I'd love to get out of here.
Yeah. Well, don't be too excited. It's never been done before. You know that, right? Brandon Scar Prison is the prison, right?
Sure.
But no reason you can't be the first, right?
Never been done before. That means there's room for improvement.
Right. Well, listen, if you're able to get out of the prison, you want to cross the moors on the outskirt of the town, all right? Did you see anything on the way in?
Didn't see much.
Well, that could either help or hurt you. I'm not sure, but
I know we're near the sea,
yes, you are.
and we're a few minutes from the gate, I think.
I see.
By wagon. That's about all I know.
Yes. Well, the bridge is long, obviously, and you are at the sea. So, but once you cross the moors on the outskirts of town, just go on the old moor road. You'll see a manor house with a single lantern burning in the second-story window. That's where our mutual friend awaits. That's all I know. He wants me to give you this too, by the way. And as she reaches up, she takes off this veil, and she takes it and she sort of wipes her face, and you can see she has what looks like fake tears. Maybe she like licked her finger and kind of put it on her face to make it look like she had tears, and she kind of wipes it off, and with a big smirk she says, "Obviously something to remember me by, right, dearest?"
Yes. Thank you. What will it do for me?
She says, "It'll help you while you're here, maybe to pass the time."
And how are we getting out? I mean, I guess that's the question. Like, what's the plan?
I think the plan is ultimately up to you. I've given you plenty of help with giving you that. And she points to the veil that's kind of in your hand that you have, even though you are shackled. And as you kind of look at that, you see that it looks like this. You see there's various kind of carvings that are on it. So you see there's a what looks like a window, and there's some tools, there's a couple swords, there's a symbol, So you can obviously see kind of the stuff that's there. She says, "You know what that is, right?"
Veil of holding.
Our friend is right. You are smarter than I thought.
Thanks.
She's kind of pushes back the chair, and you see she kind of, her demeanor immediately sort of changes, and you see now that she has this perfect sort of picture of a grieving mistress or wife, and you see the tears are immediately start to come down her face, and she goes, "Oh, no, I can't bear to leave you." And she kind of gives you a kiss on the cheek, and the kiss is ice cold. Feels almost like it's someone of from the dead that's kind of kissing you on the side. And as she does, you hear the door opens as she says that, and you see Tomas kind of walks in, and he says, "I'm afraid it's time, miss." She looks deeply in Tomas's eyes and says, "Thank you for letting me say goodbye. There is no need to search my dearest. He is such a good friend for letting me see you, my dearest, one more time." And Tomas says, "Such a good friend." "My pleasure, ma'am." And all of a sudden, he kind of his eyes kind of shake a little bit, and he says, he bows, and he says, you know how to get out?" And she kind of nods, and she walks out, and he looks to you, and says, "Come on, scum." And he kind of grabs you and starts to bring you back into the cells. As you see her going down the steps, she kind of looks at you, and then she looks through the door, and you guys can all see as the door is open, you can now see her kind of walking out, and
Are my hands still
they are.
shackled? Okay.
They are, yep. And so, but he seems to not notice that you have this veil that's kind of wrapped around your fingers type of thing. And,
I try to. Am I wearing anything? Am I got clothes on?
yeah, you have like rags that are on and things like that.
I stuff it in my waistband.
All right, gotcha.
Under my shirt so that it's not obvious to any other guards.
Sure. And so she kind of walks out the room, and you are kind of taken back into the room, and you see that he shackles you back up. But this time when he does, he doesn't put you in the mage hand shackles that are there. And then he kind of walks out, and he talks to the other guard, and the other guard walks out, and they close the door.
So did you bring us back some food?
There wasn't any food. I got something though.
Was it bugs?
No bugs. Sorry.
Was it something to eat?
No, nothing to eat. There was
How about-
nothing to eat.
How about rats?
I didn't see any.
Spiders?
There was just this kind of good-looking woman there who said she was my wife.
Oh, okay.
Wait, Tets, you're married? I didn't know you were married.
No, I'm not. But I played along.
When
obviously.
did you? I wasn't even selected as the best snake man.
And obviously, if I had gotten married, you would be it. The best man, that is.
I'm gonna do an insight check on him.
All right, sounds up.
So how many babies do you have? If you've got wives all over the place that you don't know about.
Well, I definitely don't have any with her. I don't think she's even able to have babies.
I think they're not called wives like that. They're called babies' mamas.
Anyways, none that I'm aware of. itchy. But I got this. She gave me this veil, and I'm not 100% sure what it is, but it might be. It looks like it's got like a rope, a couple of swords. There's a window. Like maybe we can take the window off and stick it on the wall, and it opens up a window here. I don't know.
So
And I don't see anything to open a lock with. Oh, there might be some thieves' tools here.
Yeah, that looks like these tools right there. I'll draw here to it.
Alrighty.
I'll point it out. It looks like this, and I'll describe it.
Okay. So he's kind of pointing that out, and you do see that with the way that those chains work, you are able to obviously pull your arm all the way against the wall, right, with one hand, and then you can reach down to your waist and kind of manipulate, like if you had like pantaloons on and you tucked it in there, you could pull it out and then kind of show it above your head type of thing. So you are able to do some movement that's there.
Okay, so I whip it out, and we're all looking at it, I guess. But
I'm not
does
looking
anybody
at it.
know what
I'm not
what we
looking
can
at
do
it.
with this? Yes, you are.
I knew that
No,
was.
no, I'm not. You just said you whipped it out.
I
Yes,
knew
you
that
are.
was coming. I knew that was.
I know you are.
Can I take a look at it?
Yeah. So he kind of turns it towards you and kind of shows it to you. Obviously, nobody can reach it except for him. He's the only one that could peel something off of it, but you all can see it anyway from where you're at, because he's in the middle.
I'd like-
Yep.
Yeah, I'd like to make an Arcana check to see if I can kind of figure out maybe what this thing is
Sure.
and how you'd use it.
Yeah. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
I'm an artificer guy. I
Yep.
think this thing might be magical.
Yeah. So. All right. You do think it's magical, Balls, by looking at it, but you're not sure exactly how it works. But you do think, well, actually, you know that you can take things off. It looks like a robe of useful items, but you're not sure exactly what all the symbols mean. I mean, you know what some of them are, obviously, but and then Sue, you also agree. I mean, you feel that this is definitely magical, and you do recognize that. That you can peel these things off. You also know that you could only use them once, so once you peel it off, it's gone.
Well, send that one with the lockpicks down here for me and Squee. But we better wait till nighttime. The guards aren't around then.
Are we able to get closer together?
So you can sort of try. So if one of you moves in one direction and one moves the other, you could get fairly close where you could hold like your arm, like the veil down with your left hand, right? And Squee could reach up with his right hand and potentially grab off one of the items off there. Or you could do the opposite where you hold your right hand out towards Harry, and then Harry could reach out with his left hand and grab something off. But you can't reach any of the others in the group.
I will. Is Squee the one that the kobold?
Yeah. So you see Squee has, yeah, he's a kobold. So you see he's now, as you're kind of talking about that, he has sort of contorted himself in such a position that he is markedly closer to you, and his hand is almost touching your hand just sitting there. So he's kind of all like twisted and everything, and his back is in this weird position. I mean, you didn't even know kobolds could bend that way. And he's kind of like half scaled up on standing on a tippy toe.
It's my natural position, actually. I contort to get to the normal looking form.
So do you recognize these symbols? Which one do you want? I think according to Sue, we can only use each one once.
I agree. I think that those look like they could be some thieves' tools.
Yeah, that's what they are.
I would say if you're going to give me something, give me that and see if I can get us out of these chains.
Okay.
We gotta wait for the guards
You
to go away
can't
first.
talk. You're like,
Dad,
Yeah.
you're
Not-
dad.
You guys see
Not
that?
true. Not true.
You see that the strap is there, but he's eaten out a complete hole around it, and it's like just hanging on by a little thread of leather that's there.
So he's not even hungry anymore.
No, he's full. He ate a ton.
Never stick anything in a goblin's or in a kobold's mouth that you don't want to keep whole.
So I say, yeah, go ahead, take them off if you can. I don't know.
All right, so have we waited until there's no guard in here, like it's nighttime now, or are we
So
going to do it now?
it's up to you. There's no guard in there currently. It appears that Tomas is talking to him in the other room. They also seem now to be a little bit more lax since the overnight you guys really didn't do anything. So they don't seem to be paying as much attention to you.
I'm going to try and take what I think is the thief tools and see if I can pull it off of it.
All right, so as you grab onto the stitching, the embroidery that's there, and you kind of pull, as you do that, you immediately see that they do materialize into physical items, and they are thieves' tools. There's thieves' tools in the parcels kit.
I will add them to my inventory
All right.
and see if I can start trying to pick my locks on my chains on my hands.
All
I
right.
think we should wait till nighttime.
We might be dead by nighttime.
I won't.
So go ahead and give me a thieves' tool check. Again, it's at disadvantage because your arms are locked, so it's a little weird for you.
So can I help him?
You cannot. Well, it depends. If he moves next to you and you move over next to him,
Can he guide my hands because he can see what I'm doing?
if you're okay with that.
I'll take any help I can get from
All right,
him.
then make just a straight thieves' tool roll.
You suck.
Oh, you got
So you see him kind of muddling around with these thieves' tools, and you see Balls is trying to help him, and yeah. So eventually, though, you're able to get that unlocked, and the manacle falls and hits the stone, goes clink, 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 and you
I'll
hear.
try and stop that as soon as it happens.
All right, gotcha. Go ahead and give me a quick acrobatics.
There's my 3 roll.
All right, gotcha. So as you do that, you grab onto it, and it just barely clinks. I mean, really kind of soft and subtle. And you hear somebody say, "Is that a rat?"
I'm going to put my hands back in them like they're still being held there.
All right. You see one of the guard opens up the door, and he kind of peeks in, and he looks around, like, maybe they will eat. Sounds like there's some rats. Like they'll eat those. Closes the door. And then you hear another guy in the background. He's like, come on, hurry up, back. We got to talk about what we're going to do tonight. Door closes again.
We've been here one night already, right?
Yes, you have been there one night.
Did we get a long rest?
You did. Here, I'll give it to you. I forgot you ended up doing something.
I'm going to try and quietly bend down and see if I can unlock my feet now.
Sure. Yep, go ahead. Another thieves' tool check. All right, so yeah, this time you get it really quickly and unlock your feet. So now you are completely unrestrained.
I'm going to just move to Tetsu real quick and quietly and see if I can get his hands free and then his feet free.
Yep, you can give me just one roll for those. Nice. So you've sort of figured out how these thieves' tools work. They're nice tools, by the way. And now you recognize the lock, so you're kind of undoing both of them. So.
All right, I'll move on down the line and get Harry and Sue next. I'll just give you a roll for each person then.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right, so you're able to obviously get Terry, and you're obviously... Who's the other one you were going to get out?
Sue.
Sue? Okay, gotcha.
And then I'll move back over and get Itchy and then Balls.
Okay. Is it there now, Steve?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. That's really weird. All right, yep. So he kind of moves down the line. He gets you all sort of unshackled. at this point, and you guys are now in the cell. None of you are shackled at all, and the door is locked, and there's obviously bars around it.
I'm going to try and quietly move over and see if I can unlock the... do we want me to unlock the gate now?
Did you unlock me?
Yeah, everybody's unlocked.
Okay.
I need a minute. I got to think through the plan. So if I move over and open the lock on the gate now, then we can get out into the hallway. Then we have to get past the guards. Okay, that's the plan. That's good.
No.
Review the plan. Review the plan. So I'm going to go over and unlock the gate. Now, be quiet, you. I'm planning here. You know that's not your forte.
You're a dummy, Squee.
Unlock the gate. Get out into the hallway. Take out the guards and get out of the building. Unlock the gate. Get out in the hall. Take out the guards and get out of the building. Okay, we've reviewed the plan 3 times now. We're good.
Hold on. Just a second. You reviewed the plan. There's more stuff on this veil here that might help us too. There might be what's this window for? Maybe we can get out through the wall with the window and use the rope to climb out. We don't have to take out any guards or even let them know we're gone.
Yeah, but they have our stuff.
We might have to acquire some new stuff, but I think
They have Harry's book.
Well, Harry might have to get a new book.
Yeah, Harry don't need his book. It always got pictures in it.
Alright, so while you guys figure out what you're going to do with the rest of the stuff, I'm going to go over and unlock the gate. So
Anybody have any ideas what this window's for?
Yeah, pull it off and put it up against the wall.
Do you want me to?
I think that's an excellent idea. What else
Okay.
would you do with a window?
I'll put it against the wall there.
So as you pull off this window, you see that it kind of pulls off and it immediately sort of goes woof, and it becomes a 2-foot by 4-foot window frame. You recognize that this is something that, well, actually, second. So Sue, you've seen one of these before.
Window? Yeah, I've seen quite a few of them.
Even a blind.
In fact, I'm looking out a window right now.
I'm homeless. I'm not a peasant or an imbecile or whatever.
You recognize once this is put on the surface, it can't be removed. It's a permanent window. All right, where are you putting the window?
Right there.
Alrighty, gotcha. So, you put the window on the wall that's there, and as you look out, you do see that you are on the second story. You see immediately that you are in the middle of the Brandiskar prison, which looks like a large castle, essentially. And as you look out... Second? Up the map so you...
So I didn't pick an outside wall.
You did. It's an outside wall, but it's inside the keep itself. So it's like a castle inside a castle, right? Opening.
Yeah, I agree, Brian. Wouldn't that be a hoot? We have a window, but it's got bars.
That would be funny. Did I do that? No. Okay. So you see... So essentially what you have is you can see outside. You're on the second story. There is a fountain that's sort of in the center. and you see that there's an image of Saint Dothan the Just, which is one of the patrons to Mitran. You also see that immediately to the north there is a kennel, and in that kennel you see there are 2 dogs inside there. There's a large gatehouse which is 3 stories tall, and on that gatehouse immediately to the north, we can see the gates and whatnot. That gatehouse has on the 3rd story, you do see there's 1 guard sitting up on the roof. And he's kind of just sort of kind of walking around. He doesn't really have a crossbow or anything with him. He seems to be bored, kind of walking on top of the roof. You see that there's essentially a wall that kind of goes around the keep itself, and that wall is about 20 feet off the ground from the courtyard itself. You don't see any guards outside other than the guard that's on top of the gatehouse on the far end and the kennel.
And the window is
right here.
Okay. So right in front of the kennel.
Yep. About 30
Those
feet
aren't
away.
snake dogs, are they?
Nope, they are dogs.
Don't
Rats.
believe him.
It took me a minute.
That is my native language, right?
Yeah. There's no giant standing next to him, so you're okay. Forgot.
So we could
A long
probably
time
climb out of here on the rope. Is it daytime or nighttime, by the way? We probably couldn't tell from the inside.
Oh yeah, so I think you pretty much immediately went to do that so it's daytime. She came during the day.
Real smart. I told you to wait till dark.
Look,
Squeeze a dummy.
squeeze a dummy. Balls, you need to be in charge.
I thought you were in charge.
I thought you were in charge, Ichi.
Oh no.
So what do we do now? We got this rope.
And a big hole in the wall in the middle of the day. Nobody's going to notice that one.
Well, there's only 1 guard, and he's not even paying attention. He looks like he's sleeping, actually.
Well, there's no guard in here at all with us right now. Did I get our gate or our door unlocked?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I missed that you did that. Yes. So you are able to unlock that gate. You kind of reach your arms around and kind of wiggle it a little bit. And now that you feel the weight of these thieves' tools, you've got it figured out now. So, yep, the door's unlocked as well.
I say let the ogre go, and he can be a distraction.
Yeah, but are we ready to leave now?
But you just put a hole in the wall.
Well, is there anything else we need to get off of that before we go out the window?
Did you unlock the door there, Squee?
Yeah, our door's unlocked.
Take a look out and see if there's any guards out there.
I'm going to try and quietly move up here to the door, to the side, and listen to see if I can hear them out there.
Okay. Yep. Sounds good. So, go ahead and give me. At least you're getting them all out early. So as you listen, you do hear 2 people there talking. You hear the sound of what sounds like wood burning, sort of a crackling sound. Maybe they have a fireplace or something. And then you hear something about. You hear one of the guys says, "Yeah, boss is going to lose it tonight, right? Oh yeah, yep, mm-hmm." Then the other guy's like, "Yeah, I'm putting 15 gold on that one, bet." And then the other one's like, "Yeah, I agree." He's like, "Hey, hand me that bottle, would you? Gonna drink it. It's good stuff."
Can I don't know personally, as Russell, how quiet could I be attempting to lock a door
You can be
using
quiet.
the thieves' tools?
Sure.
I want to attempt to lock this door,
Okay.
assuming that it wasn't locked.
Sure. Yeah, it's not locked. There's definitely a keyhole there. So give me a stealth roll too. Yeah, so you put your thieves' tools in there, and very subtly, slowly, over the next 2 minutes or so, you kind of slowly work the tumblers, and you feel pretty confident that that door is locked.
All right, then I'm going to try and slip back up the hall to
Okay.
our room.
Let's let the ogre go too. That's a good idea.
Are we ready to go out the window now?
Has anybody noticed the window yet?
No. So you see one guard that's out there. You do see that there has been what looks like a guard kind of walking back through the double doors in the gatehouse. It kind of opens, and you see the guard walking. As you do see it's Sergeant Tomas, and it looks like he maybe had just escorted out Teodora, and so he's walking back towards the main castle itself, or the main prison. He doesn't look up though, and as he does, you see he kind of reaches down and pulls out this flask and pops it, takes a big chug, puts the cap back on, and slides it back into his pouch there. And you see him shake his head, and a big smile comes across his face.
So good. So far, so good, guys.
You see Grumblejack comes rumbled over, and he looks to you and he says, "We're little ones, huh?" He says this in common.
I said that back in common to him. I'm going to unlock your gate, big fella, but we need to be quiet to start with, okay?
Quiet, huh? Grumblejack, quiet. See? He puts his finger up to his mouth and he goes, "Shh!" And you're like literally sprayed. You've now had a bath.
Excellent. None this week for me. Yes, exactly. Shh.
Big grin comes across his face.
It's like dealing with an oversized goblin.
Back, sorry.
No problem. Glad you're back. You are free of your manacles. There's a large window that has been put on the side of the wall now that looks out into the castle, Harry, and it's daytime. And Squee has locked the door to the guard room, and he's now working on unlocking Grumblejack, the ogre.
I'm looking back at the party to see if they've made any more plans other than just standing there staring at the window.
Well, obviously, we're going to climb out of it eventually.
I'm beginning to think that my group isn't very good at planning things.
I see your guys' stats. I know how good you are at planning things.
That's why we're here. Alright, I'm going to work on getting his lock free then.
All right, sounds good. How about the rest of y'all? So we have Tessie has kind of been looking out the window watching. You guys have seen Squee kind of running around. The remaining four of you are all unlocked from your manacles in the room. Cool.
I'm gonna stick my finger down my throat and puke.
Alrighty. So you see that Harry pukes, and as he pukes, you see a small little kind of hairball kind of comes up.
I'm gonna dig through it and look for any pork rinds.
Yeah. So there is one pork rind that's in there.
Wheat. We're good. We're golden, guys.
Squee, you're able to unlock that gate.
I'm. There's been a lot of time, right? I mean, I have several minutes on our gate, and then several minutes up there at the other door, and then several minutes. Okay.
Probably about 30 minutes has passed since the veil has been revealed, and you guys have started to peel some of the things off and everything.
Well, maybe the weapons might be handy, guys.
Yeah. Eventually, anybody recognize the symbol in the middle?
So, yes, somebody does actually. It would. So if anybody's interested, they can roll a history check to check and see. I know Harry's already rolled one.
History, but not Arcana, eh?
You could do a religion. So there's only one person here that knows what that is. The rest of you have no idea.
Well, I hope that person speaks up.
It's a symbol of my god, Asmodeus. Or Asmodeus.
Rock me, Asmodeus.
I like that too, though. I like it better.
What do you think it might do?
Send us to the nine hells.
Oh, perfect. Well, it gets us out of here.
Do I have any idea?
You just know that it's a holy symbol of Asmodeus, so it probably doesn't have any magical effect unless there was somebody that would use it for spell casting focus or something.
Get the rope off at least. You're going to want that to climb down 2 stories.
Might want
Okay.
the swords too for some of you guys.
Yeah, I would think so.
Who wants the sword?
Well, it looks like there's 2 of them in there.
Yep.
So you're gonna take those off? Just tell me what you're peeling off, and I'll put them in the character sheet.
I'll pull off the rope and
Okay. So 50 feet of hempen rope comes off.
I'll go ahead and pull the symbol off.
All right, gotcha. So it is the symbol of Asmodeus.
so does the bard and the barbarian want the swords?
I can use a sword.
Oh, this is like a veil of many things or something?
Yeah, it is. Oh, that's right. You weren't here. Yeah. Sorry. This is a veil of many things. Testes had a visitor, a female, that came in and gave him this and told him to meet someone at the.
You know, I guessed right what it was when you showed it, but I played it off like a robe of many
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. It's like a robo-useful thing. So, I'm sorry. Somebody took off the sword symbol.
I think Gitchy took one.
All right, gotcha. So as you peel, it's not a sword. It's actually a dagger.
Yeah, I could use that thing.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a component pouch.
Pull it off. It could be a bag filled with stuff.
I'll pull off the little bag.
All right. So as you pull out the little bag, it becomes a huge sack and it falls down to the ground.
I'll open that.
So inside the sack, you find there are 6 sets of common clothes that are there, and they are various sizes, which means that you all could wear them. They won't look funny on you. You do see there's a vial of poison in there, as well as 4 component pouches, spell component.
Well, I'll take one of those.
I'll take one of those.
There you go. They're all in the party sheet.
I don't use spell component pouches. I need, you know what, Squeal? Trade me the lockpick tools for this dagger.
Am I done unlocking stuff for now?
I can unlock stuff too, so
Alright, I'll take the dagger.
I'll take the lockpick. That's my arcane focus, so.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, so you take the lockpick set. Why don't you guys go ahead and so you've opened up the gate for Grumblejack.
Yes.
All right. So he grabs the gate and he slowly pulls it open. As he does, he pulls it open really fast. Whoosh! And it kind of bangs, bang! And he comes out and gives you a huge hug. Arrgh! You my buddy! And puts you down.
I'm changing my clothes from the rags to these to a set of common clothes.
Okay, sounds good. And
Me too.
Greg, can you pull the thieves' tools back over? Because I can't seem to get them off my character sheet.
oh, really? Yeah, sure. Be happy to. There we go. And as that bang happens, you hear the guard say, "Man, you hear that sound again?" The other guard's like, "It's nothing. Don't worry about it. It's just rats."
Squeak, squeak.
See? Told you. Rats.
Oh,
So Grumberjack looks at you and says, "Okay, we leave?"
soon.
Good.
Itchy, you're so smart.
You might as well take the wooden window out of there too.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Are we just going to take the other items off now, or no?
The bricks may be heavy. Are those bricks?
Hard
I
to
think
say.
they're probably gold bars.
That gold bars wouldn't help us.
We could use them to bribe people if we run into someone. I mean, gold is gold.
Yeah, but gold isn't going to get us out of the prison, is it?
Nope. These guys are unbribable.
Well, that people would hit him in the head with it.
We don't have to take it off the veil right now. We can get them later, right?
The veil is yours, so it doesn't disappear or anything like that you're aware of.
Is anybody taking that other dagger?
There wasn't a dagger.
Yeah, I got a dagger.
One of them was peeled off. There's still a symbol of a sword dagger on the other side. Anyway, the red circles have been taken.
Oh, so we got the dagger and the sword from one symbol.
You got a dagger from one symbol. There was no sword. It didn't end up being a sword. It was a dagger.
Peel it off. Let's see what it is. It's almost like Christmas.
Almost is. We peel it off.
I'll peel it off.
It's a second dagger.
Well, I guess we're just about ready. What time is it now?
It's about an hour afterwards, so it's probably about 2 in the afternoon.
Can we see any guards walking around like the outer wall or anything?
A good question. So as
Just
you
one so far, right?
right, yep. As you look now, you can't see obviously behind you. You don't know what's up on the roof of this building, but you see there's one guard on top of that gatehouse, which would be kind of highlighted over here. The red square is on the major map. Now you do see that there are obviously walls around there. You do see there's towers too. That being said, though. You don't see any guards at this point walking around, but they could be behind you, maybe on their parole again or stuff like that. Patrol, I should say.
Typically, there's a man door that goes from the inside to the outside. Did we see one of those?
Yep. Each the gatehouse has one, as well as maybe. Yeah, I guess you could. So you do see on the far left, you're able to just barely see a tower that's there. And you do see there's a man door that goes through into that tower as well from the.
So if we get down, we can go over to the man door and go through it and get to the outside of the wall, right?
Are we ready to go?
Yeah.
Are we all dressed in common clothes now?
Looks like 2 people are not.
Yeah, I am. I just figured I was wearing the clothes that are already in my inventory.
I am now.
If we can get to the ground without being noticed, we might be okay.
Well, we can always go the fast way and jump.
Nah, I'm gonna dangle the rope out and I'll climb down first.
All right, so you kind of dangle the rope there, kind of secure it to one of the manacles, I guess.
Oh, there's rings right there by the window.
Yeah, that's true. Yep, that's true. So you connect it to that and kind of slide it down, and you go out the window. So as you go out the window, you see that the castle itself is rather large. You do see that there are definitely doors that are below you that appear to enter into the gatehouse. You see there are 2 towers there, and on the far west side, right here, you see a pair of guards that are walking along the parapet up there on the wall. They don't really look into the actual inside here, and they seem to be kind of talking back and forth. They don't have any weapon. They have weapons on them, but they're not drawn or anything, and they just seem to be in general conversation walking towards the north tower. All right, so you kind of shimmy down the wall, and as you do, you are able to get down to the bottom. Are now in the courtyard.
Oh, I'll take that other dagger since.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll climb down the rope.
All right.
I will go down it as well.
Okay. So we have Squee and Balls have kind of gone down the rope there. For the 3 that are inside, you see that Grumblejack is now kind of looking out, and he looks to Itchy and he says, "Me next, me follow my friend."
Go ahead.
So he tries to wiggle through, and you see his he's like puts his legs through, and his butt kind of gets stuck. He's like, "Urgh!" He kind of pops out, tight, and then kind of starts moving down the rope.
I'll move out of the way just in case the rope doesn't hold.
Sure. And he kind of slides down and lands there.
Over here next to me.
I'll go down.
Alrighty, sounds good. So Itchy, you start making your way down the rope. Itchy, as you kind of land on the ground, you kind of turn around and you see Grumblejack's kind of standing next to you. He's got a big smile. He's like, "Good job." And all of a sudden you hear, you hear some dog growling from the north. As you look, you see 4 dogs are there, and they all are now kind of sitting on the edge looking at you.
Walk away from the dog.
Is it too late to climb back up the rope?
No. Mm-mm.
Are you and Harry coming down, Sue?
So Sue, yeah, you're up there. Harry's with you as well. Harry had to step away for a second because he's having trouble with this. So Harry, I guess, would be at the window next, unless Sue, you want to go next.
Irish is asleep.
A boy named Sue.
So we'll. Harry kind of starts to come out the window. He's coming down too. So he starts making his way down as well.
You said it was daytime, right?
It is daytime, about 2:00.
Yay.
Why is Harry so slow?
This was your idea, Squee.
So Harry starts to move down the rope. As he does, you hear one of the dogs bark. Roof, roof.
Somebody do something about the dogs.
Harry comes down next to you, and Grumblejack moves his way around, and he goes stands next to Squee. Want me to kill the dogs?
Yes, excellent plan. You go kill the dogs.
Let's go! I start running towards
All
him.
right. You see he starts running as well, and he's like yelling, "Arr, arr, come here, dogs, come here!" And the dogs all start barking. At that point, you start to see that the guard up on the top of the tower immediately to the north turns around and looks towards the wall, and he sees all four of you along the wall there, and you see the two guards on the western gate, or the western wall, also kind of turn and look towards you. The dogs,
I'll wave.
the dogs are now barking pretty significantly. Why don't we go ahead and roll for some initiative here?
We need Sue.
I don't know which is worse, the daylight or the dog.